Hello students, how are you? Welcome to mathematics class. My name is teacher Ame Hajivuai, and today's topic is geometry, mathematics from 1. And specifically the topic today is angle. Always say angles. Angles. Can you show me examples of angles? This is a triangle, and here is an angle, angle, angles. Angle, angle, angles. So these are 3 angles in the shape. But also we can practice angles within the room. You can see the angles. There's an angles left, angles. Even the blackboard, even the whiteboard has an angle. This one, that one, and that one are all angles. Angle measure the amount of turn. But before that, let us share objective of the lessons today. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to draw angles, to name the angles, and also to calculate the unknown angles. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to draw angles, to name the angles, and finally to calculate the unknown angles. My students, angle measures the amount of turn. Angle measures the amount of turn. Angle measures the amount of turn, and a complete turn has a complete turn is an angle of 360 degrees. A complete turn is an angle of 360 degrees. This is a complete turn. This is a complete turn. Can you practice a complete turns? Look at me. You can rotate either here or this. I'm rotating this. So this is a complete turn of 360 degrees. It's the same as moving around from the point to back to the point. It is 360 degrees. We call it a complete turn. Okay. Now look at the diagram. We have the angles waiting. Here we have 3 angles. One is 160 degrees. 160 degrees. And also we have 60 degrees. And this is 140 degrees. We have 140 degrees, 160 degrees, and 60 degrees. So in this diagram, let us add the angles. In the diagram, by adding all the angles, 140 degrees plus this one, next 160 degrees, this one, plus what? 60 degrees is equal to, we can add 140 plus 160, which is 300, plus 60 is 360. 360 degrees. So again, a complete turn has a total angles of 360 degrees. And the angles along a straight line, the angle along a straight line added up to 180 degrees. The angles along a straight line can add up to 180 degrees. The angles along the straight lines can add up to 180 degrees. It means this is a straight line. Can you do a straight line? This is a straight line. Okay? And this is the point. Now we have another angle from the point. And this is, if we measure this, is 150 degrees. And this one is 30 degrees. So, by adding 150 degrees plus 30 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. These are angles on a straight line. It is also called the half turn, or this is called the half a turn. This is called the half a turn. Again, half a turn. A complete turn. Half a turn. Complete turn. Half a turn. Half a turn means in the same way as 360 degrees divided by 2, which is added up to 180 degrees. Angle of 90 degrees is a right angle. Angle of 90 degrees is a right angle. All of us say right angle. Right angle. Right angle is an angle of 90 degrees. It is also called the quarter turn. It is also called the quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn is the same as 360 degrees divided by 4, which is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is also called the quarter turn. A quarter turn. This is also called the a quarter turn. And a right angle is shown in the symbol. A right angle is shown in the following symbols. One of the symbols representing 90 degrees is this symbol. It's this symbol. You see the symbol? It's like letter L with that. So this is a right angle. Also, we can have a symbol like this. It's something like this. You see? This is a right angle. But also, another one can be represented using this symbol. is like this. Something like this. Or it can be. So the three symbols are used to represent right angles. This one, and this one. So here angle is 90 degrees. It's always not written, but you see such symbols to represent 90 degrees. Angle whose sum is 90 degrees are called the complementary angles. Angles whose sum are 90 degrees is angles whose sum is 90 degrees are angles whose sum are 90 degrees are complementary. Complementary. So it means if you add two angles and their sum is 90 degrees, these are called the complementary angles. Take any two angles, add up, and find the sum. If the sum is 90 degrees, the angles are said to be complementary angles. Examples: 50 degrees plus 40 degrees. This gives 90 degrees. So we can say 50 degrees and 40 degrees are complementary angles. Thus, 50 degrees and 40 degrees are complementary angles. My students, can you give me more examples or another examples of angles which are complementary angles? Can you give me examples? Here is 50 and 40. Another examples? 60 and 30. Good. 60 and 30 are complementary angles. So 60 degrees and 30 degrees. So we can have a question. Tell me the complement of 60 degrees is what? 30 degrees. Why? Because 60 degrees plus 30 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Okay? Now, give me the complement of 20 degrees. The complement of 20 degrees. The complement of 20 degrees. It means there is an angle, when added to 20 degrees, it gives 90 degrees. Which angles? 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, yes. So it means 70 degrees. It means 70 degrees plus 20 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. So these are complementary angles. Again, angles whose sum are 90 degrees, angles whose sum is 90 degrees are complementary angles. Angles whose sum is 90 degrees are complementary. And example, 50 and 40, 60 and 30, 70 and 20, 10 and 80, and so on. There are so many examples. Number two, angles whose sum is 180 degrees are called the supplementary angles. Angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Angles whose sum is 180 degrees are called the what? Supplemental. All of you say supplemental angles. Supplemental angles. Supplementary angles. Example of supplemental angles. Example. 130 degrees plus 50 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Next, 60 degrees plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Another one, 40 degrees plus 140 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So these are supplemental angles. I repeat, angles whose sum is 180 degrees are called the supplemental angles. Example of supplemental angles: 130 plus 50, 60 plus 120, 140 plus 140, 40 degrees plus 140, and so on. There are so many examples. Can you give me another example of supplementary angles? Yes? 110 and 70. Good. 110 plus 70 degrees is 180 degrees. So here we can say 110 degrees is a supplement, of 70 degrees. Why? Because when we add 110 degrees plus 70 degrees, the result is 180 degrees. So we can show supplementary angles like this. Here is 70 degrees, and here is 110 degrees. So by adding this, we have a straight angle which is 180 degrees. Good. So now let us see examples, and we can use the concept of supplementary angles, complementary angles, and the full turn to find unknown in the diagram. The question is, example, find the angles labeled X and Y. Find the angles. Find the angles labeled X and Y. X and Y. Number A, we have this figure. We have the angle X. We have the angle X. And here is 100 degrees. Here is 125 degrees, 125 degrees, and 65 degrees, and here angle X. That is number one. And number two, number B, we have a straight line. And we have lines which makes right angles. And also there is angle Y. And the last angle is 35. So let us work through the above two examples to find unknown. Okay? Good. Number one, number A. Here is full turn. Let's go back to how to find the angles in a full turn. By adding all angles is equal to full turn, which is 360 degrees. So add X plus 125 degrees plus 65 plus 100 is equal to 360 degrees. And then we want to find the value of x. So x is equal to 360 degrees minus sum of the rest of the angles. So by adding these angles here, add this 125 and 65 and 105 here will make a total of how many? 125 plus 65. This is equal to 190. 190 plus 100 is 290 degrees. And subtract 290 degrees from 360 degrees. So the value of x here becomes 70 degrees. That is number 1. And number 2, here, we have right angles. And the rest is right angles. Otherwise, we can use half turn, which is 180 degrees. So number B, by adding this 90 degrees plus y plus 35 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Then the value of y is obtained by subtracting 180 degrees minus the sum of 90 plus 35, which is 125. So 180 minus 125. So tell me the value of y. 180 minus 125. The answer is 55. Yes. So 55. So the value of y is 55. If we add y here 55, we'll make it at 190 degrees. Okay? So, actually, our last objective was to find the unknown. After that, my students, are you ready for exercise? Are you ready? Yes? No? Yes. Good. So, now let's go to exercise. And the exercise today is very, very simple because we'll cut across the previous, either using supplemental, complemental, or using a full turn. Okay. Exercise. And exercise says find the angles marked with letters. Find the angles marked with letters. I have only 4 questions. Don't worry. Number A. Very simple. This one, and this one, and here angle Y, and this is 40, 45. Number 2, or number B, is you see this, okay? And here is angle B. And this is 170 degrees. And question 3, question C, we have this one. We have this one. The point, and here is angle A, And this angle is 35 degrees, and this angle is 160 degrees. And the last one, number D, we have angle half turn, and the angle X, this is angle X, and this angle is 4X. So question number A, B, C, D. The unknown here is Y, B, X, and A. So this is your task, and I think you have enjoyed the license. So before calling the day, let me say thank you for your participation and the cooperation, and see you next time. Bye.